Come watch as we install this complete screen replacement kit in a 2017 Lexus RX 350. This will give you a brand new interface that includes Apple Carplay. So the first step is going to be to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. This will ensure that there is no power to the system in the vehicle and that you won't blow any fuses during the installation process. With that negative terminal on the battery disconnected, we are safe to proceed with the installation. We recommend putting the negative terminal either in a rubber glove or a plastic bag, and that will keep it from contacting that negative post. For the next step, we're going to remove the front and rear trim baffles around this display in the car. These trim baffles will be replaced by new ones in our kit, so don't worry about messing them up. You can use a credit card to do this, and they're very strong, so you're not likely to harm them or scratch them or mess them up or anything like that. You start with the first, and then move to the second and remove that one as well. With the rear baffle, it's easy to put your fingers under it and simply pry up. That's the best method to pop it out. Once you have both the front and rear trim baffles removed, we'll proceed to remove these three 10mm bolts holding the screen into the bracket. Use a 10mm socket to remove the 3 bolts surrounding the screen and holding it into the bracket. Be aware that these bolts can be a bit tight at first, and so be mindful of where your socket wrench is to prevent snapping it too quickly and potentially hitting your screen. You removed the 3 nuts, lift the screen out. It has 2 additional clips holding it in, and then lay the factory screen down. We recommend on a towel, and you can remove the wiring harnesses. From here, we will set the factory screen aside and proceed to the installation of the new screen. From there, we're going to remove both of these side trim panels on either side of the center console. They're held in by a series of plastic clips. They're made out of a very strong leather look-alike material, and we recommend using a credit card for these. You can simply insert it into the crevice and start to remove it. As the clips start to give way, they become very easy to remove. These pieces are very strong, and you're not going to mess anything up. You can't really bend them or break them. They're very strong, and then once you remove them, you can simply set them aside for reinstallation later. Once you removed the right side, you're going to repeat the process on the left side. Once again, it always feels uncomfortable to be pulling trim panels out of your car, but these are very strong and you're really not likely to hurt anything. We recommend using a credit card, and you can insert it right into the crevice, and once those clips give way, it'll come right out. After removing the side trim panels, we're going to remove this piece of metal look-alike trim that surrounds the center control unit. We recommend using the credit card to insert it into the upper crevice, and then gripping it and starting to rock it back and forth. It is also held in by a series of clips, and once again, it's a very strong piece of plastic and you're not going to hurt it. You can start on either end. Here we started on the top end, and then you kind of just wiggle it and it comes loose, and once it becomes loose, just kind of grab it and keep supporting it as it comes out. This one is, in there very tight, but it's a really strong piece of plastic. The clips are really strong, and you're not going to bend it or break it or anything like that. You can apply quite a bit of force to this, and it's very tough. As you can see here, we're taking the credit card down the side of the unit, and there you go. Now it's free. So we recommend setting all of these aside for later, and making sure that you don't lose any of the yellow clips, because they hold it in place. If you do, you can pick up spares really inexpensively, and they don't really come off that easily. So once that's removed, just set it aside for the reinstallation. Now we are going to remove the plastic piece that includes your engine start-stop button. Reach from the top, and you can kind of apply some pressure from the bottom and pop it loose, and then grab around the steering wheel and kind of massage those clips out, and the piece will pop loose. You don't need to disconnect it. You don't need to disconnect that button. You can simply just leave it hanging loose. All we're doing is freeing up some space to access a bolt behind it. Now we are going to remove two 10mm bolts that hold the center console unit into the center console. There's one on the driver's side and there's one on the passenger side. To do this, you will most likely need an extension and your 10mm socket. We went back and forth removing the bolts, or loosening the bolts, and then using the extension to support the bolt so you can lower it back out once it is fully loose. It's easy if you lean kind of into the wheel well so that you can get up to that angle. The bolts are in approximately the same place on both the driver and the passenger sides. Once you have these bolts removed, the center climate control unit will be ready to remove. With both of the 10mm bolts removed, it's time to remove the central control unit. We recommend covering your gear shift to avoid scratching it. Apply some pressure from the bottom, lift up, and pull out, and you will gain access to the wiring harnesses behind the central control unit. Once again, if you have a towel, it's easy to be able to set your unit right on the center console. Okay, now that we have the air conditioning control unit removed, we're going to go ahead and you'll slide up on the plastic here. This is from our new unit. Keep this piece separate from your factory one. And we're going to begin to wire the new head unit into the car. We have this wiring diagram here that'll come with your unit. And you'll follow along to this and the video, and it will show you how to wire the unit into your car. So we had two big chunky wiring harnesses. The first one is this one, and this is the primary harness. And I'll walk you through what we've done with this harness, okay? So this harness first has this long tan piece that plugs right here into the back of the radio. Now all of these harnesses, they're like a jigsaw puzzle. They'll only go in one way. Then the second harness kit, the second chunky harness is gonna be right here, okay? And this harness is going to interact with the main harness. As you can see, we've already connected them here. We connect camera to this other yellow one, okay? So these two harnesses now are bound together. And I'll show you, I'll disconnect these to make it a little simpler. So here's one harness and here's the main harness. So we've connected the main harness. Then off the main harness, we're gonna pull, it says OEM mic. We're gonna come to our other harness where it says mic. And we're gonna connect these together. Then on our other harness where it says camera, and these are all harnesses that are included with the radio, we're gonna plug it into this yellow RCA, okay? Then there's gonna be a piece coming off of this harness that says speaker, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and plug that into this speaker. This is a speaker just for chimes and vehicle sounds. Now we're gonna carry this main cable back and we're gonna connect it here to the lower AC unit, okay? So what our harness does is it has pieces that look like this. It'll have 3 of these T's, okay? And what's gonna happen is the factory vehicle harness is gonna plug into here instead of where it originally plugged into the radio. And then our harness, I'm sorry, instead of where it originally plugged into your AC unit, and then our harness is gonna plug into your AC unit. So for example, this was originally installed in the vehicle's AC unit. Now it goes into the back of our harness. It'll only fit in one way. And once again, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You're not gonna risk getting the wrong harness because it'll only certain ones will fit into our unit. And then our harness is gonna plug into the back of your vehicle. So that's 1. 2 is right here. And 3 is gonna be this one right here with these brown wires, okay? So 1, 2, 3. And our harness will plug in place of your factory harnesses there. We're gonna take this piece that says OEM camera, and we're gonna feed it up through the dash here. So all of these harnesses we've plugged in below the dash, and now we're going to feed this one up into the dash. And it's going to connect right here. Okay. Now I've had this plugged into the unit while we're doing all of this. At the end of the day, when we take the unit and start to put it up into the dash, we're just going to unhook this, we're going to pull it up into the dash and then reconnect it to the unit. But I like to do it kind of down here so that you can visualize everything. So those are the primary things to connect. We're going to have a few last connections to make before we're ready to install it, but those are the key things to get connected to start. Use the included factory screws to transfer the bracket from your factory head unit to our head unit that we removed previously. If you're installing our new display in place of your 8-inch factory display, you'll reuse the factory bracket. If you're installing our new display in place of your factory 12-inch display, you'll need to use the black bracket that we include in your package. It's designed to mimic the bracket that we show here in this photo. For the final wiring, prepare the new head unit up near where it is going to be installed and plug in the wiring harnesses into the back of it. We did our previous video where we showed you the wiring harnesses all displayed down in front of the AC control unit. Now you need to pull those connections up through the dash so that they can connect into the new head unit, and all your connections can be neatly tucked back behind your factory air conditioning control unit. Remember to plug in the 2 yellow RCAs for the backup camera, as well as all of the connections we previously showed. We use a plastic bag here to protect your dash. You can use a plastic bag or a little towel or something like that to protect your dash from any scratches as you make these final wiring connections. Included in every kit will be that paper wiring diagram. That is very helpful to cross-reference exactly where everything should go. Once again, the wiring connections will only fit one way, so you're not going to harm anything by connecting anything the wrong way. The chime shown here is to aid in the factory seatbelt chime, as well as a few of the factory vehicle sounds. This speaker won't be used for music or navigation or anything of that sort. After you have installed all of the wiring connections and fed the wiring harnesses down back behind that factory air conditioning control unit, it's time to put the unit onto those factory mounting points and install the 3 10mm bolts that you removed in the beginning. With all of your harness connections made and the wires tucked back behind that factory air conditioning control unit, it's time to reinstall that factory air conditioning control unit. Reinstalling the factory air conditioning control unit is a little bit tricky. There are 2 brackets inside behind the factory air conditioning control unit. That's where we removed those 10mm bolts. And you need to lift up on the factory air conditioning control unit in a way that it'll kind of seat into those brackets. Be careful not to have any wires in the way, as those can impede your ability to reinstall the unit. Once it is firmly clicked into place, you will know it. The clips will hold it almost without even those bolts back in place. So you'll know that it's firmly clipped in and you're ready to install those bolts. With the factory air conditioning control unit reinstalled into place and the screen installed onto its bracket, it's time to test your system. Return power to the system by reconnecting that negative battery terminal, and we recommend powering on the system, checking to make sure that your hazard light switch works, that all your climate controls work, that the system boots up, that Apple CarPlay works. We recommend checking the music as well, make sure that all your speakers are playing. This is the easiest time to fix any wiring errors. As well, go ahead and put it in reverse and check your backup camera. If you have the 360-degree camera features, the car here does not, but if you have the 360-degree camera feature, go ahead and check that. Make sure that all of your cameras are working, make sure that all your lights are coming on, and give it a solid once-over. We include new trim baffles that will install on the front and rear of your new display. Don't forget to transfer the red clips from your factory trim baffles over to our new trim baffles. You can use a credit card to do this. Once you have those new trim baffles prepped with the red clips, it's time to press them into place. Reverse the steps shown earlier in the video to reinstall the two 10mm bolts that go into either side of the factory air conditioning control unit. You'll need that socket with the extension. And then also as well, you can simply clip in and reinstall that start-stop trim piece that goes around the radio. The start-stop trim piece is pretty easy. You'll just line it up and press it in. And then those two 10mm bolts, you'll use that socket extension to reach those and put those back into place. Line up the metal look-alike surround trim back into its original place and use some pressure, and it will press right back into its original clips. Follow the same procedure for the trim that runs along the sides of your center console. Line it back up into its original place and start at one end. We recommend usually starting at the front and then simply pressing into the back. The number one way this can go wrong or cause an inconvenience is if you just don't have it lined up quite right. So make sure that you have it lined up where it fits against the center console, and then use a little bit of pressure and firmly place those clips back into their original positions, and you'll feel it feels very sturdy once you have those back. Go through your screen one last time, make sure the touchscreen works, your factory interface works, your CarPlay, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. We're here for you anytime.